Now for our story. This afternoon, Mario Descari had driven his neighbor and good friend, Henry Bergman, into Wakefield. The kindly old man was having trouble with his car. As they drove through the pleasant countryside, Mr. Bergman confided in Mario as to the errand he intended to accomplish in town. Listening, Mario began to formulate a plan, one which might make it possible for him to do a good turn for Aunt Mary Lane by helping her son Randy in his new business venture. The more he thought about it, the more excited Mario became. He was so happy now, but if it hadn't been for Aunt Mary, he and his wife might never have become reconciled. He began talking to Mr. Bergman earnestly, and gradually the old man's doubtful expression changed to one of decision. But now Mario is looking very cheerful as he goes through the doors of the Wakefield Trust and Savings Bank. He strides up to Bill Meade's desk.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, hello, Mario.
Well, this is the day.
Yeah, so it is. And here you are, Johnny on the spot.
I like to make my payments right on the nose.
Hey, do you realize that you only have a couple of more payments and the loan will all be paid off?
Sure thing. I'll have a brand new investment by that time.
Huh? Oh, you mean the new son and heir, huh? Hey, that's right.
Yeah. You up to your ears in work, Bill?
No, not especially. Why?
Well, I'd kind of like to talk to you for a minute.
Sure thing. Come on, sit down. We can have a bull session.
Sure, I won't keep you from your work.
Well, that's the whole idea. You see, I'm having a spell of late spring fever, and I'm looking for an excuse to indulge it.
Well, okay. Oh, say, you have quite a hideaway here.
Yeah, Peggy says I like it back here because I can take a nap and no one will notice.
Well, that's an idea. Say, how is she, Bill?
Peggy? Oh, you're fine, Marion.
No, Carl and I have been wondering when you guys are going to start being sociable again. How long does a honeymoon last, anyway?
Well, I think it varies. But in our case, I hope and expect it to last all our lives.
Oh, I hope so, too, Bill. That's the way it is with Carl and me. When you sure look happy, it kind of beams out like a lighthouse.
Brother, I am happy. Hey, come to think of it, you're looking pretty chipper yourself. A proud, expectant father.
Yep, that's me, all right. Hey, you know, Bill, having a baby isn't as simple as a guy might think. There's so many things to buy for a baby. You'd be surprised.
Well, you'd better remember everything you can, Mario, because I might be coming to you for advice one of these days.
Oh, yeah, you do that, and I'll give you all the tips. You ought to see this stuff, Bill. It's all so tiny. Well, the sleeves of those little things are only about as long as my finger.
Yeah. But it's surprising how fast kids grow. Before you know it, they're out playing football.
This kid of mine's sure going to be something, Bill. I know it in my heart. And sometimes it scares me. I mean, when I think how close I came to spoiling my life. And Carla's, too. And here I am now, happy as all get out.
Well, I'm sure glad things turned out the way they did.
Yeah. I guess a man goes through times when he's not right in the head. At least I did. But now, everything that happened in Chicago and while I was away, it's all gone. As if something I read somewhere a long time ago. Because of Carla. The way she's acted. So sweet and forgiving.
She's one swell gal, Mario.
Don't I know it? Carla's never reproached me or asked questions. Anyway, like I say, Bill, it's just as if the whole thing happened to someone else. Or maybe it happened in a dream. But considering the trouble I caused other people, maybe I shouldn't feel that way.
No, that's the way it should be. It's a dead issue, Mario.
Sure. The only thing is, I sure would like to show Aunt Mary how I feel. I'm so darn grateful to her, Bill.
Yeah, I know how you feel. But she doesn't have to be shown, Mario. You and Carla are together. You've worked this thing out. That's all that counts with Aunt Mary.
I know. That's the kind of person she is. But just the same, I felt ever since I came back that I wished I could think of some way to show her how grateful I am. Something I could do for her. And now, I think I found it. That's what I wanted to see you about.
Oh?
Yes, Bill. It isn't as if I went out and bought her something, as if I went out and bought her something, as if I went out and bought her. How's he getting along?
Oh, the guy's all hopped up about it.
What? Yes, Bill. It isn't as if I went out and bought her something. That wouldn't be any good. But maybe I can do the same kind of thing for her that she did for me.
Well, I don't get you. What do you mean, the same kind of thing?
Well, I mean to help someone she loves.
Well, like whom, for instance?
Randy.
Randy?
Well, he started a real estate business, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, how's he getting along?
Oh, the guy's all hopped up about it. Likes it fine.
I mean, well, this is a personal question, but I've got a good reason for asking. Has he made any deals yet?
Well, no.
Swell. Huh? I mean, he's going to soon. Bill, I think I've got him a customer.
No kidding.
Yes. That's why I was hoping I could send him his first customer. I can imagine that the first couple of deals are pretty important. If they go well, people start to have confidence in you right off. You build up goodwill. It takes you over the first jump. You know, folks who have been saying, that young man's a fine fellow, but he hasn't had any experience. Well, then they change their tune. All of a sudden they're saying, that young fellow's a real businessman. I've always thought so.
That's the way it goes, all right. So you've got a customer for him, huh? Oh, that's swell. This'll really mean a boost for Randy. Who is this customer you've lassoed?
Well, it's Henry Bergman.
Bergman? Bergman. I don't think I know him.
He has the farm next to ours. You know, that big red house, remember?
Oh, sure, I know the place. Well, that's one of the best farms around here. Man, what a sale that'd make.
You're darn right. Old man Bergman. He's quite a character.
Bergman. I still can't place the man, though.
Oh, he has white hair and he's sort of round, you know, very blue eyes.
Oh, yeah. Speaks with a slight accent, doesn't he?
Yes, that's him. He and his wife came here from the old country when they were first married. But they only moved into these parts, about 10 years or so ago.
And he always dresses for town as if he were on his way to church.
Yeah, that's because of Louisa, his wife. She looks after him like a mother hen with a chick.
I've seen him, yeah. Well, why does he want to sell a wonderful piece of property like that?
Well, you see, Bill, the Bergmans have had a lot of trouble.
Oh, how come?
Both their sons were killed in the war. They were crazy about those kids. It was an awful show to them.
Both of them. Yeah, that's really tough.
Emil and Cloud. And I went to high school with them. They were swell guys. Well, anyway, since that happened, the old man sort of, well, he wants to get away from the farm. Too many memories. Mm-hmm. Them two, they're pretty old. Too much work for just the two of them. So they decided to sell.
Yeah, I see. They want to go away somewhere else where things won't remind them. Is that the idea?
Yeah. They figure they'll move near where her sister lives. Anyway, I drove the old man into town today, and he talked to me about it. He had an appointment to see Ben Calvert to wind up arrangements for Calvert's handling the deal.
You mean Mr. Bergman's already talked to Ben?
A few days ago, yeah.
That's too bad the old man's committed himself.
He hasn't. Though Ben Calvert may talk as if he had when Mr. Bergman sees him today. Ben's going to be in for quite a surprise.
Wait a minute. You mean to say you talked Bergman out of going to Ben Calvert and going to Randy Lane instead?
That's right. And it wasn't too easy either. You know how those old guys are. They get set in their ways. He's eager for a fast sale, and he's used to thinking of Calvert as the only man around here who knows anything about real estate.
Sure, lots of people do.
But, well, I reminded him about Randy's having been in service the way his sons were. Veteran, just getting started.
Yeah.
Then, of course, he knows Aunt Mary and Randy. Knows what kind of people they are.
You sound like a pretty good salesman yourself. The Bergman place, huh?
Yep.
Boy, what a plum. Oh, Mario, this is really swell. Now, look, are you sure Bergman's going to put the sale in Randy's hands? I mean, it's really set?
Well, I'll be awfully surprised if Bergman backtracks on me. Like I said, he's stubborn. And I don't think Mr. Calvert will be able to talk him out of it.
You son of a gun. This is really great news.
Well, it was just luck that I stumbled onto it. But I was thinking of Aunt Mary. How pleased she'd be if Randy's business got started with a big bang.
Yeah, well, Mario, a big bang is right. It may create quite an explosion.
How do you mean?
Well, you know Ben. How do you think he's going to feel finding out he lost a good customer right off the bat? Especially to Randy Lane.
Yeah. Well, nuts to Mr. Calvert.
Yeah, no, just what you mean. Because I feel more or less the same way. I don't want to be vindictive, but I can't help getting a kick out of the fact that Randy's first customer will be one that slipped right out of Ben's hands. Only, it might start some trouble.
Oh, why should it? And what if it does? Ben Calvert doesn't own this town.
No, but he thinks he does. And from what I know of him, he's not the kind of guy to let anybody move in on his territory. Not without putting up a fight.
And Bill Meade was right. Ben Calvert had been furious when he learned that he had a business rival, the son of a woman toward whom Ben felt a bitter, unreasonable resentment. So if Mr. Bergman doesn't change his mind about listing his property with Aunt Mary's son, Ben will certainly do anything he can to make trouble for Randy Lane.